Hello there, in this video we're going to create a logos page in our style guide. We'll add some guidelines and we will create the logo as a component. So let's go. Okay, so welcome back to the file. So we've jumped into the file, we're on the logos page. I'm just going to double check one of my comments here. So create a logo as a component, add the brand color. Okay, that's fine. Just going to close that comment. So what we need to do is currently I've just copied and pasted an asset that I've used for YouTube. So if I just go inside this frame and if I just take a copy of what I've created. So this is very straightforward for this project. I'm not going to make it overcomplicated. I'm just going to use the initials. So design with Mitch, DWM, should be nice and easy. So what I'll do is I'll select all the text, I'm going to right click on the keyboard and I'm going to outline stroke, which is Command Option O, that's the shortcut. So that then changes it from text that I could previously edit, and now as you can see if I double click, it now changes it to a vector shape that I can move and drag around. So let me just edit undo that. Okay, next I'm going to select all the shapes, I'm going to press Command E and that flattens it down into one vector. Just going to rename that here to logo for the moment. Just click on it again. I'm going to go to the fill. I'm going to apply our neutral color. So it's using a design system color. So we use neutral 0. There we go. What I'm going to do for now is I'm going to delete that because I have moved that asset to the YouTube page for now. So we just push those assets aside for the moment. Okay, so next of all what we need is I need to build out a page for the logo, and I probably want to build out some guidelines as well. So if I go back up, let's take imagery as an example. Let's just copy this out, just lock that again, come back to logos, let's paste that, there we go. So we'll just change that around, so put that as logo. Just going to delete out some of this information here so we don't need. Okay, so we use this as a starting point. Let's to start with, let's shrink this down a little bit. So let's change this to the scale tool and let's just drop this down. For now we'll drop it to there, that should be okay. So let's just drag and drop this. Let's just drag and drop it here for the moment into the file. Let me just change and go back to the move tool. We obviously can't see this, so let me just change the color. Let's go up to brand and let's use brand 400 for the moment. Okay, for now let's create a component, so Command Option K, that creates it as a component. Just going to duplicate it out and then I'm going to right click, detach the instance, and then I'm going to create another variation of it. So let's use neutral, let's do 900, so that's a nice dark color. So again press Command Option K. And now I'm going to shift select both of those, combine them as variants, and now I'm going to press Shift A to create an auto layout, so that does that. And let's apply some spacing variables, so let's use 24, 24, I think that'll be fine. Okay, so let's just go up here, let's rename this to type, and for the first one I'm just going to label this as brand color, so that should be fine. The second one I'll label as black, and let's do a third of white, and let's change that to white. So if I click down here, go to neutral, go all the way down, go to neutral 0. Now we can't see that, so let's add a slight background color to this just so we can see it. So let's do a slightly lighter color, so yeah, we'll do 40 for now, just so you can see the different color variations. I think that's good. Okay, I'm just going to delete that for now. Let me just duplicate this. Let's tighten this spacing up a little bit. Let's bring that to 8. Just change the font weight on this so it is regular. Okay, so let's think about a few sections that I want to include on this page. So for one, let's put color variations because that's what we have below. Okay, so that can relate to this section here. Let's take this section. Let's just paste it afterwards. So what else are we going to need? So we've got color variations. Let's add some guidelines. So we probably want some guidelines on spacing and size. You just duplicate that again. Let's do one on usage, so the do's and don'ts of when using the logo. Alright, something else I've just noticed as well, this is using Helvetica, so just before we dig in deeper into this, so let's just change this so it follows our guidelines. So let's use Inter here. Okay, let's just adjust some of the spacing here as well. So let's just move these letters ever so slightly. Okay, I know this isn't 100% perfect for a logo, but this is just for our project. So what I'm going to do now is select all the letters. I'm going to right click and I'm going to outline the stroke. There we go. Then I'm going to press Command E and that flattens it so they're all one vector. Okay, what I want to do now is I just want to scale that down again. So let's scale that down to a similar size to what we have on the right. So I think it was around 350. Yeah, that should be fine. So let's just rename the vector to logo. Let's do this again. So Command Option K, that creates it as a component. I'm then going to Option drag that out. I'm going to detach that as an instance. I'm now going to change the color. I want to go to my brand colors. That one's 400. Let me click on logo again, press Command Option K, that creates it again. Let's just select both of these, combine as variants, press Shift A on the keyboard as well so we create an auto layout. Let's just quickly correct the spacing. Okay, there we go. So we have our, let's just change that to type. So we've got our white logo here, we've got our brand color. Let's click on the plus, and then we've got our black. Let's go into color here, let's go to neutral, use neutral 900. Okay, let's delete that out. Let's click on here. Okay, what I'm going to do is drag this into the canvas here. Let's go to the fill. Let's find a neutral color for the background. So I think it was 40. So there we go. So now we can see all those changes. That's good. I just wanted to align that with our typography so everything feels consistent. Okay, so now I can go ahead and speed up this part of the video. I'm going to complete the sections for the logo, the color variations, the spacing, the sizing, and the usage of the logo. So I'm going to fill in these details and I will see you in a bit. Okay, so welcome back. So looking at our new page and the structure that we have, let's start at the top and read through the different points that I've added. So we've got the heading at the top, logo, and then I've added a little section here, DWM logo. The logo represents our brand identity and should always be used consistently. By adhering to these guidelines, we ensure our brand remains strong, professional, and recognizable. So let's move down to the logo itself. So here I've marked it as primary logo, so use the primary logo whenever possible. Ensure the logo is clear, legible and not distorted, and do not modify the logo in any way. Potentially for some brands you may have a logo mark as well, but I'm just going to use this primary logo that I've created for this project. Let's just scroll down here. So we've got color variations. So what I wanted to do here is add some guidelines when we're using the logo. So the sapphire color that we've got up here is our primary brand color logo. Then I've done a black variation, which could be used on white backgrounds. And then I've done the inverse, which is a white logo that could be used on black backgrounds. And then I've added a note here, do not apply any colors outside of the brand palette to this logo. All right, so moving down to the next point, spacing and sizing. Again, giving some guidelines on usage, so leave sufficient clear space around the logo to maintain its integrity and visibility. Do not stretch, skew or alter the logo's proportions. Maintain a minimum size for digital and print usage to ensure readability. Right, so moving down again, placement. Place the logo in a consistent and prominent location. When using the logo on images, ensure there is enough contrast for visibility. Okay, so moving down to usage. To maintain brand consistency, avoid the following. Distorting the logo, do not stretch, skew or rotate the logo. Adding effects, avoid shadows, gradients or other effects. Changing colors, do not use colors outside the brand color palette. Placing on a busy background, ensure the logo is legible by avoiding overly complex backgrounds. And then I've added some additional guidelines. Always use the approved logo files, do not recreate the logo, and ensure high resolution for print and digital use. Now, these are fairly common guidelines that I've added to this page, but I wanted to add something as a starting point, so at least we have some guidelines and we have some variants that we can use for the logo. So when we come to designing in our project, at least we've got some guidelines to follow, some do's and don'ts, and we've got our logo created as a component up here. Okay, so as we've created a new component, I'm going to go up to Assets. I'm going to click on the icon here for libraries, and I'm going to click on Publish. We've got a new component, it's the logo here, so I'm going to add some notes. Okay, that should be fine. I'm going to click on Publish, and there we go. That's publishing the library, and now the logo should be available to use. Just while I'm here, I'm just going to move the assets here on this page into the playground area, because at the moment we don't really need them. So let's move those here, move those to playground. So I just wanted to remove that page as it's not really part of our brief. So we've still got the assets, they're in the playground, but for now, I'm just going to remove that page. Okay, so let's go back to our project overview. So I think now we are good on the style guide elements. We've done the colors, we've done the typography, we've done the imagery, the iconography. Okay, so in the next video, what we're going to do is create a new Figma file that's going to house our design system components. We're going to look at the wireframes again and just double check what components we could make that could be reusable across the designs. So yeah, that is what we're going to do in the next video. Okay, that's it for this video. Thanks for getting to the end. Like and subscribe, add some comments, check out some other videos on my channel. And that's it. So have a great rest of the week, and I will see you in the next video. People seem to think this office is a dumping ground in my house. I keep finding random things. So this has got some kind of weird light on it and a really annoying noise. So that's definitely going in the bin. Till my feet get cold blown.